Here we have a 2015 Nissan Leaf. This one comes in the SV trim level in glacier white on light gray cloth interior. And we have a single electric motor paired with a 1-speed automatic transmission. And all that power is coming to the front 2 wheels, with it being a front-wheel drive vehicle. And as you get to the front end here, we have halogen headlamps. And then down here, we have 17-inch aluminum wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. And here are the controls for the power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. And we'll just take a quick look at the charging port. So the vehicle has to be off to open it, and then you just fold it up, and there's a plug in there. And there's our driver's seat. So for such a small vehicle, not bad rear leg room. I'm 6'3" and I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size. And I still have about ½ an inch of headroom, so not bad at all. And then here we have the heated rear seat controls for the seats here. Excuse me. And there's our back end there. Then to open, we just pull that up. And really good cargo space. I like how they made it up there. It makes a lot of sense. Nice and deep to maximize on room. And then you can still fold the seats down if you want to. But here's a look at the plug there. And there's this one's for a 110. And then if you want even more storage, you just pull up here. Those seats will fold flat to fit longer or larger objects. And then here we have our front passenger seat. And now we'll go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. And to start it, it tells you right there, you just hit the brake, hit that button, and then it'll cut on. And we'll start over here with the screen here once it boots up. So we have XM radio there, AM, FM, and then we also have a USB input, Pandora, and then CD player back there. But over here, we have the controls for our navigation. There's that there. And then we have our menu here. And we can set up a route or whatever. And then we can go ahead and toggle through our status controls here. So I like that. I usually keep that up, but You can adjust the lighting here. And I really like how it was set up. So of course, volume has buttons here. But down here we have our single zone automatic climate controls. And I forgot to touch on the Bluetooth audio. And then we have our heat controls. We can toggle that on, the AC, what mode, so where you want the air to go. And we can just cut it on and off with the touch of a button. And then we have 2-stage heated seats for the driver and front passenger. And onto our shifter here, we just hit the brake, tap over. So we hold it for neutral, we shift up for reverse, and then we shift down for drive. And then of course P for park. And a little center console cubby space there. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And there's our glove compartment, still has the owner's manuals in there. And it's just crazy how quiet it is in this vehicle when it's not moving. But over here, we have quick shortcuts for the navigation. And then we have our Bluetooth control there, volume, voice command, back button. Then we can toggle between what we have going on here. So presets or track list. And then over here we have our cruise controls. And then our eco mode toggle there. And based on what mode you're in, it'll actually change how far it thinks you have to go, which is pretty neat. And then have a little gauge cluster up there, and I like how they put that there. But there's your push button start. Headlamp controls, windshield wiper controls. Now I think I forgot to touch on the heated steering wheel toggle there. And here we have our key fob. So next we're going to take this 2015 Nissan Leaf SV out on the road for a quick test drive. So pretty decent acceleration, even in the eco mode. And it actually drives really nicely. Like really nicely. And I like the regen, it's just a little bit of bite there. It's not necessarily one pedal, but if you time it right, you might be able to do it. I'm gonna take it out of eco and give it some, oh, that changes things up. Not fast, but pretty quick. I've had a Tesla Model 3 and I've got a Mustang Mach-E now, so this can't really touch them in that sense, but it's still quicker than pretty much any other Nissan sedan I've driven. I shouldn't say that. The Sentras and the Versas, they're quicker than that, but of course the Maxima is going to be faster, and Ultima 2-liter turbo is going to be faster. But for what it is, really good power. And of course you can get the newer Leafs now with much better range. But if you just drive a couple minutes to spin class, or your job's 3 minutes away and there's EV parking and all of that, then this is really good for those kind of lifestyles, because you're not going to be doing a lot of driving. They're pretty efficient in terms of EVs, and they're just simple, really simple to operate. And I think this one only has a little over 20,000 miles, and I think it's priced under 15,000. So you can get these pretty cheaply, and they still have a lot of life left in them. And for those simpler lifestyles, you're not gonna be doing a lot of road tripping and things of that nature, a really good option. And the eco mode is actually really nice because it keeps you from burning through power. And then of course it's just a push of a button and you can put your foot into it. But honestly, in my opinion, it's not worth that. If you want something like that, then go for a Tesla or a Mach-E or something that's more performance oriented. But this is really, really a great practical electric vehicle, in my opinion. Which all of them are practical, but one of the most practical ones you can buy would be a Nissan Leaf. Certainly an older one if you don't drive that much, because EVs right now are 40, 50 grand, and dealers are charging 5, 10, 15 grand over sticker for them. So why not get something for $15,000? I'm gonna take the eco mode off and put my foot into it. It's not all the way down, but it's pretty much there. And really good acceleration. I will say accelerating to higher speeds does use a lot more energy, but that's with any EV. But it does take a minute to get up to speed. So for instance, in my Mach-E, I can pretty much gap other vehicles pretty easily, and in my Model 3 it was even faster. But this one, it slowly catches up, even in the normal mode. And it's really not something that you'd want to use on this vehicle because the battery is so small and you have so little range, and putting your foot down can make the range even smaller. But if you need it, it's adequate. And it does seem to hold pretty well. Doesn't seem to use that much juice, cruising at 80. But of course it's gonna shine when you're driving 40, 45 through town, not necessarily on the interstate. But even at 80 miles an hour, really, really good ride and minimal wind noise. And it actually handles really well too. But this is going to bring me to the end of my review of the 2015 Nissan Leaf SV.